I think one of the biggest challenge which we would continue to face is disruption. Disruption because of economic slowdown, disruption because of multilateral war between the countries. So that would have a lot of disruption on supply chain sourcing. So I think localization would be a key thing. That's number one. The other thing which I see as a part of real challenge is how you really keep up customer trust, because loyalty is a myth in e-commerce business, right? Because if customer find same product at lower price, they will easily move. So it's important that you keep that honesty in your business. Therefore, you have that customer trust and you are able to do that as well.
I guess it's similar to the last couple of years. Of course, you have a huge pressure of the market, and like inflation is quite high. The people are not able to have so much money. The wallet sizes of people is lower, so that means that they're not affording so much as they normally would do, and probably also spending it more on private circumstances like travel or something like this. So it's really to finding the right customers at the right price. So optimizing the customer acquisition costs for customers, because the price topic and the price sensitivity will for sure stay really important over the next months and years ahead.
The problem of plenty, I would say. There's so much choice, like, oh, okay, do we optimize for mobile? Do we do this? Do we do that? Do we target this market first? So there are a lot of decisions, and the problem is earlier these decisions were made for us because of constraints. Now that we hardly have constraints, which is great, but we have to make those decisions based on collecting some data, and so I think that is one of the biggest problems would be to be able to focus on your market, your customer and your product, and not get derailed by all the possibilities around us.
Challenges in terms of logistics. We're quite used as consumers to have, quick turnaround from order to delivery. I think logistic-wise, there's many challenges for e-commerce businesses, but also some types of product need more education on an e-commerce business. Let's talk about skincare, for example, where, it's hard to find the right product. So you need to invest a little bit more in the pre-phase of the sale, giving more educational content to the consumer, because that's also how you can avoid a high return rate.
Problem is, on the one hand, you have to look really deep in your costs because you have, especially in Germany, the recession. On the other hand, you have so many innovations and technical things, and you have to invest a lot and looking deep in that things to be ahead or not left behind. So I think that is a really challenge.
Especially challenging is currently, for example, the lack of supply or the delay in supply, the inflation, unfortunately the ongoing wars. And companies really have to be quick in adapting new strategies and embracing new technologies.
To kind of lose the origin of your idea. So when you start something, you're starting it because you have such a good idea. And then if you start to look at the numbers too quickly, you will start adapt and change your ideas. I would say always the hardest thing is to stick to the reason you exist and not get too stressed of the progression, because it's crazy. It's a crowded space. Of course, it will be super hard to start something, but stick to the plan and stick to the plan, because there's a reason for the plan and the idea.
Have the margins, also to think about alternative revenue models when selling goods, maybe also selling experiences, selling not just stuff which can be bought somewhere else, maybe even cheaper. So you have to focus on things the customers really are engaged with, and you should also think about how to separate or how to differentiate from the market.
The biggest challenges in e-commerce might be that consumers hold back from ordering because they have to save money, and also businesses have to cut costs. So profitable markets and companies will benefit, and the loss makers will lose even more. And to overcome, both businesses have to invest to further grow.
There is a big, fierce global competition. Cybersecurity is quite crucial, and also disruption in logistics, global logistics. Talking about how we can overcome, definitely starting with a solid strategy on how to approach the consumer, and definitely investing in the infrastructure of logistics and the cybersecurity. Those would be the 3 areas that I would be focusing on.
First of all, securing the supply chain, especially if you source internationally. It's getting a little bit more and more critical. It started with Corona, then the war in Europe and so on. This is definitely leading to some challenges, and you have to think in advance, where do you want to source in the future, simply to secure your supply chain. That's number one. Second thing is bureaucracy, how to deal with it. Especially there are many laws coming. We have the European elections next year. So that means on the one hand, the existing ones, you want to push some stuff through, and the other ones come with new ideas. And in many cases, there's a good intention, but it's not completely thought through, which could create some pressure actually. And what is the solution towards that? Yeah, engage with politicians and try to educate them. We right now have the tendency that we say, okay, the politicians do a bad job, but looking in the mirror, maybe we as entrepreneurs also do a bad job in educating them and give them the hand and communicate. That's the most important thing.